Hey everybody, I'm back to talk about a subject with pre-workouts that often doesn't really get mentioned, at least not in its own class. So you'll get people mentioning stacking pre-workouts or companies coming out with a pre-workout which is stim-based and then a pre-workout which is pump-based and then saying, oh, you can try half a scoop of this and half a scoop of that. But not often do people really tell you what type of results they get from it or what some of the good combinations are. For me personally, I often mix supplements together, but I make sure I do it with caution and I make sure I do it in an appropriate way. Example of that would be, I would never take, let's just say, 2 Stim Junkie pre-workouts and do 3/4 scoop, 3/4 scoop of both. In the end, you're probably going to get too much stimulants for the package and it's really not worth it. But what you can do often is you can do certain combinations when it comes to pre-workout powders or pump formulas or even nootropics. You can do the classic stimulant pre-workout with a pump formula. So one of the reasons you might want to do that is, say you're taking a pre-workout which is quite high on caffeine, it might be quite high in DMHA or Rahensis, you name the ingredient. You want to reduce that, but you don't want to feel like you're not getting your bang for your buck for your workout. You can mix, let's just say, half a scoop of your favorite pre-workout, get maybe, let's just say, 175, 150, maybe even 200 milligrams of caffeine, and then use half a scoop of a pump formula, combine it, and still get some energy, some focus with all the pump elements. Now, one of the ones that I wanted to talk about is, after all the combinations that I've tried, is what works for me best and what I found for some of my friends that I've suggested has worked also for them. So my personal favorite approach for it is actually using like a Hooligan type pre-workout. So Hooligan is one that I've reviewed before. Absolutely love this pre-workout. I mean, if they could improve on anything, it would be the taste. But I've gotten used to it and it's not as awful as it was at the beginning of me using it. In fact, every time I use it now, I hate it a little bit less, which is weird because usually it goes the other way. But one of the problems that I had with Hooligan, and it's not a bad problem necessarily because you're getting such a jam-packed pre-workout that if you have to half scoop it to get what you'd get from a full scoop of another pre-workout, I mean, that's a bonus. But sometimes what I want is the full scoop quantities of the nootropic elements, because Hooligan is not only just a high energy pre-workout with 600-ish milligrams of caffeine, maybe a little bit more, but it's also got lion's mane, alpha GPC, etc. What I like to do is I like to do half a scoop of this as my daily driver, sometimes 3/4 if I'm feeling really sleepy or had a huge work day, but I don't often go 3/4. What I've found through testing is mixing half a scoop of Hooligan with something like Faction Labs Attention, which at a full scoop only has 100 milligrams of caffeine. All I do is I put in half a scoop of Hooligan and then mix maybe like a 3/4 scoop, if even that, of Attention. And what I love about Attention is it's got lion's mane, it's got acid L-tyrosines, acetylcholine, alpha GPC, ashwagandha extract. It's got it's got a lot of these awesome pre-workouts, nootropic elements. So what I end up doing is I essentially have what would be a full scoop amount of all the nootropic elements from this. I just reduce the caffeine. Now that to me is like a perfect pre-workout. You don't have to necessarily mix these two. Well, the reason that I do is because from the labels combined, it ends up creating an absolutely unbelievable experience. To me, I've used this 4 times now, that combination. You get this great hit of energy, you get some pump, because Hooligan in itself is actually a decent pump formula as well. You get out of this world nootropic focus, just that ability of feeling like every gym session is the most amazing gym session ever. You can feel the contractions, you can feel everything. You want to do your sets. You're not worried about your phone. I mean, when I put these together, I always put my phone away. and I just go through the workout. And typically a workout that's 1 hour and 15 ends up being an hour, and a workout that's 2 hours ends up being 1 hour 30. That's what I love about it. Now, I don't want to make too much of a long video for this. I think keeping it short and simple is the way that I like it. If anyone has any questions on what they think might be a good way to stack theirs, or if they have a question on which pre-workouts they think would be, I guess, dangerous to stack, because I know a lot of people assume they can just stack anything. I've had a couple of friends do that and it doesn't end up going too well. You can even post to me what type of pre-workouts you use. I can tell you, man, okay, that one's good together. And overall, maybe give it a shot. Pick something low in caffeine, pick something high in caffeine. Pick something that might have no heavy stimulants and something that has some heavy stimulants, and cut that in half, and then you'll get a better experience. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.